Hi guys, welcome back. I'm going to pass you over to Dean from Solo. This is a hair makeup tutorial and we are going to show you how we got this look on Casey.
Hello guys, Dean here from Solo. I'm just going to go over a little look that we done last week. We started by curling the hair really softly and pinning it, which helps to set it a little bit. After pinning the front up to set it, we curl the back using a nice soft curl, pulling it through, really getting some nice movement in that hair. So we've curled all this hair in the same direction so that when we brush it, all those curls sit together and give you that fantastic Hollywood bounce. So here is a little preview of how your curls should be looking. There's the front pinch and just our back section all curled in the same direction. So just then we start to remove the pins from the front of the hair, which will give you more of a set look. So by letting the hair cool down at the front, it really sets those curls. So when you brush them together, it really holds that nice firm curl for you. So you can see here now we have such a difference from the front and the back, because we need that lift towards the front. You take the front section and just pin it forward to give you that almost vintage lift at the front, as demonstrated here. Just wrap it around your fingers and curl it right down into the root again, keeping that firm curl for you. So we'll start by backcombing the top. There's lots of different things you can use for backcombing, but I like the Style For You matte powder, which is absolutely fantastic for holding that height in the hair and giving the hair a nice firmness. So just sprinkle a little on the root and build up that height. So when you've brought the backcombing to the crown of the hair, then you start adding in the sides just to build up the volume all over the head. So start by taking a section horizontally back and using your powder just to give that volume and backcombing the root again. You'll do this the whole way down and then start again on the other side. So once you've finished backcombing both sides, you pull the hair back and start to spread it out. So you want to spread out that backcombing so it doesn't sit bumpy on the top of the head. So you can see here, you just want to spread out the crown and using each section to just spread that out nice and evenly and building up the volume all over the head. It should be quite easy to get a nice smoothness in this because the powder is fantastic for the backcombing. So you can really get a nice smoothness in that.
Guys, so I hope you enjoyed the hair. He is so amazing. I'm going to go through the makeup look here now for you. This was a very natural look. It was, for me, it would be something I could do for bridal, or it's really vintage as well, just without the red lip. So I literally just cleanse, tone and moisturise. A good cleanser, toner, moisturiser that I would recommend. Toner would definitely be rose water. Cleanser and moisturiser, I love Clarins because if you've dry skin like myself, it's extra thick to moisturiser. So firstly, I'm going to fill in her eyebrows. I'm using Spiked Eyebrow Pencil by MAC. Pennies have an amazing dupe for this. The skinny little ones, the twisty ones as well. What is it called? Sketch in pennies, and it's the exact same. I'm using it now all the time. So I'm literally, she has amazing brows. I'm just carving in the shape with the pencil. We start all our students on pencil so that with the gel it just doesn't move, so they can get the original shape with the pencil and then carve it out with the gel to get your desired shape with it. This is me yapping away, so just filling out her brows. I then popped, I didn't have the P. Louise base, so the base that I popped, I used the MAC underneath the eye, so just to carve out the brow. And then I used the Helen E Cosmetics primer on the lid. Now I am loving the P. Louise since I've got it, it's amazing. So literally carving out the brows. I'm using a Soeva 144 brush. You need to get this on Beauty Bay. It is a dupe for the 252. It's unbelievable. Now in the next tutorial, I promise I'm going to do another one in the next week or two. I'm going to show you another way to do this as well. It'll be Billy's technique of just swiping sidewards if you're not confident in carving into the brow. So we'll show you that next week. So I'm just patting it dry. I'm coming in with a soft brush. Again, this is probably one of my Chinese brushes, literally Jessup brushes off eBay or Wish or anything like that. They're amazing, just fluffing in the corners so it doesn't stay. And just making sure that it's rightly buffed in. I am now coming in with dark tan, and what I'm doing is I'm just packing it on. I think this is my 217 MAC brush. I'm packing it on all over the lid, taking off my excess and then blending out the edges. This lovely transition colour, it is, do you know, it suits everyone as well. I use it as contour and I use it on the eyes. So I'm coming in with a clean brush and just buffing in them edges and keeping it really, really soft. Again, make sure that you keep your transition colour down low so that you can buff out the edges. Now I'm coming in with a Revoluna R21 brush. And this is going to go right into the crease. I'm using the Juvia's palette. I hope I pronounced that right. And I am just going my darker colour below my first colour. Very lightly, very light with my touch. Billy would say, this is, if your brush bends, then it means that you're going too heavy on your brush. So very, very lightly, circle motions with your brush. So that's my second colour right into the crease. I'm carving out the crease with this. Just carving out the shape as such, you know, it's going to feel her eyeball and going right into it. I am then coming in with my first colour. There's nothing on my brush here. I haven't redid my product or anything. I am literally just going around the edges of my second colour and blending that out softly. Now this is a natural look, it's not too defined, so I don't want to come in with loads and loads of product. I don't want to cut crease. It's very, very natural, so it's okay to blend it and buff it a bit extra than you normally would. So if you can see, I'm placing the product into the centre, not in the outer corners. If I place it in the outer corners, it's going to build up the product as well, which I don't want. So I want it literally to build in the centre. I'm doing a very, very rounded look, which, if anyone knows me, is my favourite. And I'm buffing out the edges again with my dark tan powder. So what I've done here now is I've got a very soft fluffy brush. I've got my concealer and I've literally cleaned up the lid. I don't know how makeup artists don't get the product on the lid. I'm so messy, even like with a small brush like my 221 hair. I literally always get the product on the lid, so I need to clean away the lid. I'm cleaning around the edges with my 221, so I've cleaned up the lid with a little bit of concealer on a fluffy brush to make sure it doesn't look like a cut crease. And then I've come around the edges with my 221 and my dark colour again. For the wing, I use the 266 MAC brush. If you struggle with doing wings, you need this in your life. You will not be able to live without it. It's amazing. The brush does the work for me. So I use the Inglass 77 Duraline. I get my client to look down and I lift up her eye. I place my finger on the eye so I get control of the lid. This is AJ's tip and I've never looked back. I literally get her to look straight ahead. I want to see where I'm going with my angle. So with the very point of the brush, I'm going to, in as close to the lash line, build on that, literally build it. Then I'm going to draw a line right out from the top lashes. I'm going to turn my brush around, bring that line right back in. Now all the time I'm getting her to open, I'm looking back just to see if I'm happy where it's going out. I'm going to bring that line right back in and draw a triangle and fill it in. Then I'm going to get her to look the opposite way and I'm going to fill in my inner corner. So here I'm just making sure that I'm happy with my wing shape. If I have any, so don't ever try add to your wing. If you keep adding to your wing, what's going to happen is you are going to make it longer and longer. So if you find that you're pointed and sharpen up, like here I was happy, but I just wanted a tiny little bit sharper, I'm just coming in with my concealer, my flat brush, and just fixing the corners of it. Now, I always do the underneath of the eye before I do the foundation. The reason is, like I said, I am messy. Everything will be everywhere, I swear. It'd be down her face. So I put my concealer underneath the eye and then I come in with the same colours above the eye that I use underneath the eye. I'm now coming in with my foundation. I found this little brush that I'm obsessed with buying brushes. This is a Nima little foundation brush. It is so fab. You know, for getting around your eyebrows and just under the eye. It's a small little one, so I'm just going to pat in all my foundation all over. I use NC20 by MAC, Studio Fix of course. And then because I left some little streaks, I'm coming in with a big fluffy brush and I'm just buffing all that in everywhere. I'm just bringing my darker colour again, just a bit closer to the lash line. With the brown, it's okay to, you know, come back in with your colour and stuff because there's not as much fallout as black. I'm blending out the edges of this with my dark tan. And I'm just popping some concealer just underneath the eyes again. This is the MAC concealer, Pro Longwear, just underneath the eyes, in the forehead, on the nose and on the chin. And what I'm doing here is I'm just popping it everywhere. And I come in really fluffy brush. You need about 50 of these brushes. Again, Jessup or Pennies are doing amazing ones. The more fluffy brushes you have, the better. I'm literally blending my concealer right in. Now, for the contour, I am using a flat brush. So I'm going to use one side to pack it on, just under the cheekbone, turn it over and buff it out. For my highlighter, I'm using MAC Whisper of Guilt. It is my favourite of all time. And for the lips, another tip is line on the lips for the bottom.
Yeah.
And for the top lips, you can bring them out a small bit. I'm using Whirl and then I used Velvet Teddy by MAC. For lashes, get her to look down. I never get my client to close. I literally get her to look down. I place my lash, take it away and pop it back on again. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I know it was a bit fast. We cut it really short so that we could fit the hair makeup in together. But if you have any questions, make sure to pop us a mail. And till next time, and make sure to like and subscribe.